Do you know that you can relocate to the UK within 6 months? Here is a step-by-step guide on how you can relocate to the UK on a student visa. Month one, gather your documents. There are several documents that you will need if you want to come to the UK on a student visa as a postgraduate student. In my video that I'll be showing on the screen, I explained the documents needed for admission in the UK. You need your international passport, you need your degree certificate, you need your transcript, you need references, you need your CV. Some schools will ask for CV. You need your English language proficiency. Once you have all of these documents, you are ready to apply for admission. So in case you have just finished school and you don't have this handy, use the first month to gather all of these documents because you will need them to apply for admission. But if you already have this ready, then it might not take you up to 6 months. Within 4 months, you can relocate to the UK. Month two, browse for schools and apply for admission. The UK is made up of four countries. We have England, we have Wales, we have Scotland, and we have Northern Ireland. So you want to look for the schools. You want to look for schools where you deem fit, right? If you want to go to England, England is one of the largest places in the UK, but the weather is quite favorable compared to Scotland, where it's more cold, and you have Northern Ireland, which is obviously more cold as well, and then Wales. So you want to browse for schools in these locations, whether there are areas you would like to live in, depending on the cost of living, depending on how you can easily get jobs, depending on how busy the city is, depending on what you want, right? So you need to browse through these locations, read through Google, ask ChatGPT, find out about this area so that you can determine where you would like to stay. And also you can ask people who have been there before to about how their experiences have been and if the school is worth going into. So you have to use your second month to browse for schools, apply for admission, and this could take you roughly 1 month between when you apply for school and when you get feedback on your admission. Month three, I believe that you'd have gotten your admission by the third month, and most admissions come with conditional offer. But if you're lucky, you can get an unconditional offer. A conditional offer is an offer that has conditions attached to it, like things you need to fulfill. Some would say you have to pay your initial tuition deposit. Some would say you have to provide proof of funds. If you have any document outstanding, like your statement of purpose, your references, your English language proficiency, some schools will ask you to provide this before they can offer you a confirmation of acceptance. So you want to use that 1 month to gather all the documents required to fulfill your obligations. Now, if they require you to pay your initial tuition deposit, if you're an international student, you know that exchange rate can be an issue. So you need to check what the exchange rate is so that you can easily like convert your money and then pay off. If you have somebody abroad, it'll be easier to just pay the fees, because sometimes there could be delay when you have to like pay directly from Nigeria or whatever country you're paying from. So also some would require you to provide a proof of fund. What is the proof that you have the money for the school fees and for your living expenses? If you go to the gov.uk website, they will tell you the living expenses that are required for you depending on your city of location, whether it's London, whether it's outside London. So check that amount, and then I think you need to multiply it by 9 months. You have to have that in your proof of funds, and then you have to have your school fees as well. So you need to present your bank statement showing that you have the money to pay the tuition fees so that the school can issue you a course. Now, some schools will not ask for the living expenses. Some will ask for just the tuition fees, while some will ask for you to present all the documents. So you have to get that ready. If you don't have an English language proficiency, you might need to take IELTS, TOEFL, or present your WIEC certificate if that is acceptable. Once you are able to fulfill all the conditions of your offer, then you have an unconditional offer. And at this stage, you are close to coming to the UK. Month four, you are ready to come to the UK. You need your CAS. Your CAS is your confirmation of acceptance of studies. Universities usually issue this to their prospective students, which they can now use to apply for visa. And before you can be issued a CAS, you must have fulfilled all the conditions of your offer. And this sometimes would require you to fill a pre-CAS questionnaire, where universities will ask you some certain details about yourself, about your immigration history, and this is where it gets tricky. you have to be mindful of the things you've said. If you've had any rejections before, maybe to US, New Zealand, Australia, UK, all these countries, they share immigration information. You want to be truthful as possible. You don't want to lie in your precast questionnaire. Tell them about your past immigration experiences. Tell them about the places you've been to. Be open, be as open as possible, and ask questions if you're not sure before answering the precast questionnaire, because this can be a game changer. If you do not pass the precast questionnaire, some schools may decide to withdraw your admission. And imagine you've already paid initial tuition deposit. That comes to you now chasing them to get your money back, which can be a hassle. So you want to take your time to fill your precast questionnaire. And sometimes schools at this point may ask you to provide your proof of fund, which I mentioned earlier. They may want to see, okay, you have sufficient money to bank on the study, so that they don't have to be worried about you paying your school fees. So if you need help at this point, ask, make sure that you're able to show sufficient money. And most times the money has to be in your account. Your statement of account has to show that you have the money in your account for at least 30 days, after which you can now print the statement, has all the bank logo and your address and all of your details, and then send it to the school. Once you have filled the precast questionnaire, you've shown them evidence of you being capable of paying your studies, they will issue you a CAS. Once you have the CAS, oh my God, you are already in the UK, right? Just one step left. And so that you can see that within 4 months, you can actually relocate to the UK. Once you have your CAS, you want to do your tuberculosis test. Some people do this before they have their CAS, because you have to have a valid tuberculosis test for 6 months, right? So you can do that earlier at any stage during your application process. But me, during my time, I waited till I've gotten my CAS before I did my tuberculosis test. If you go to the gov.uk website, you would see a list of approved centers where you can take the tuberculosis test, which will be needed for your visa application. I think you have the international, the IOM, you have QLive, you have St. Nicholas. In short, I don't have an updated list, so you have to go to the gov.uk website, where they can tell you approved centers depending on the state that you are in, Nigeria or whatever country you are watching this from. After you've received your tuberculosis test result and you are clear that you do not have tuberculosis, you are one step closer. So what is left is for you to gather all your documents and apply for your visa. So the same document you used to apply for admission, you will need to also use it to apply as a supporting document for your visa application. So you need your references, you need your CV, you need your employment history showing what you've been doing to date, you need your BSc certificate, degree certificate, your bank statement. This is very important, because without proof that you can pay for your fees, you might not get the visa. So get all your documents ready, including your tuberculosis test, and you can go ahead to apply for your student visa. And this usually takes around 3 weeks. So within 1 or 2 months, you can be able to sort this out. And once you have your student visa approved and they give you like a confirmation that you can come and get your passport, you are ready to come to the UK. Some people go ahead to resign during this period, but I would not advise you to resign from your current workplace when you have not obtained your student visa. Wait till you have obtained your student visa before you book your flights, or you book your non-refundable flights. So wait till you've gotten your student visa before you book your flights, before you resign from your current job. And once you have that, all you need to do is to book your flights. Give yourself some time, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, so that you can gather everything that you need, maybe like your luggage, your food stuff, saying goodbye to family and friends. And that's a simple way to move to the UK on a student visa within 4 to 6 months. I hope you got value today. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.